For those who don't know me, I'm Kat. I'm a wife, a homeschool mom, and an avid reader. I had actually recorded this once, but I did it with my phone first while at the barn and didn't think about orientation. And I did it in profile. And told my husband that I goofed on my intro, and he goes, "All of YouTube's gonna hate you." So I'm re-recording it now. This week, and most weeks, we spend about 20 hours a week at the barn. My daughter goes and works with some horses and gets some lessons and helps the instructor with some of her other groups along with some office work. And it's a 30-minute drive with a 25-minute drive with no traffic to the barn. But very rarely when we are at the barn is it a no traffic time. We leave our house just as the public middle schools are letting out, and so we hit a lot of traffic in one main spot. If I get there just as school lets out, then I only have to sit through that light one time. If I am running behind, then we end up having to sit there through 2 or 3 cycles of the light. It is not the easiest to get through. So instead of wasting all of my time in the car and in traffic and wasting a lot of gas, I just stay at the barn. During this time, I might be working on lesson plans, I might be reading, I might be crocheting, I might be listening to an audiobook. It just depends on what's going on in that particular day and how I'm feeling. So, ahead of you is a look into our week at the barn and kind of what I do while she's working with the horses. On Tuesday, I did some work. On Wednesday, as you're going to see, hello, Ember. I spent quite a bit of time out of the car, just hanging out with the instructor, with the other parents, and with the dog. And the dog is probably about 90% of the reason that I stay in the car. As you will see, she is stick obsessed and will continue to bring you a stick until her little paws fall off. And then on Thursday, I sat in the car and did some stuff, mainly reading. But I will let you enjoy my week along with some of the things that I was reading at the time. So I've done some math. I'm tired of math. And it's not completely ununderstandable. I did spend my morning doing weeks 8 through 11 of lesson plans this morning for all of my classes except for art. So I'm just tired. So now I'm gonna take some time, and I'm gonna enjoy the beautifulness that is out here, and just get some reading done, and kind of go from there. I don't know exactly how long we'll be out here. We'll be out here at least until 5:30. Sometimes they get done by 5:30, depending on how many kids are out here helping to feed. And then sometimes it can be 6:30 before we leave here. So we're just going to play it by ear. Tonight when I get home is tacos, so that will be a quick throw together dinner. And then more reading tonight. So yeah, it's kind of my plan for the rest of the day. But I'm gonna jump back into Layla and see how it goes. Hello everyone, so it is Tuesday night. We made it home from the barn. My daughter got done about 6:30, and then we came home. It's the craziest thing. If I leave the barn at 5:45, 6 p.m. or 6:30 p.m., I end up at home just before 7 o'clock. No matter what. And it's all based on these traffic patterns. It's crazy. But here we are, home, cozy and jammies. I still need to wash my face and take my contacts out, which I'll do in a minute. And I'm gonna continue reading Layla some tonight. I'm about 20% in, I think. And it's interesting. I don't know what to think with this story. It has a lot of those Verity vibes, almost to the point where I feel like the end of the book is going to be left very much similar to Verity, where we go, which side are you on? And so we'll see. This one does have a fun ghost element though. I did not expect that from Colleen Hoover, but here we are. So I'm gonna go wash my face, finish getting ready for bed, and then read some. I probably am not getting much read tonight. It's just been a hard day in our house. And so I'm wore out. But here we go. So I'll check in with you later. Hello everyone. So we are back at the barn. It is Wednesday. Trash trucks threw us off a little bit, so we got here a little late. But my plan today while here is to get my art work done for classes. I want to do a couple examples, and then we'll probably read some. So we will see how it goes for real, but in the meantime, I'm just chilling. And that's another day at the barn. So we're gonna head home and hopefully traffic won't be too bad. And then we'll go home and make some dinner. Talk to you soon. Hello everyone. So it is Thursday and apparently there's a plane going over. I haven't heard a plane in 2 weeks. That's really weird. Okay. It's over. It is Thursday, and this is our last long day at the barn this week. And I have all of my classes ready for the first part of school. So from when we start in September through to Christmas break. I have to go and make copies, but I have all my stuff planned. The only thing I don't have is all of my art projects done. So today I am continuing to work on those. I'm making a pumpkin right now. We're going to do it like the polka dot queen. I can't remember her name off the top of my head. I know it starts with a K and a Y. First name starts with K, last name starts with a Y. I'll leave it. Put a caption or something somewhere. But we're gonna kind of recreate her style of pop art. So I'm just working on this. I tried to do this one right around Halloween because we all have pumpkins and it's a fun way to do it. Last year I had the students bring in pumpkins, which was cool, except I had several students leave them, and then they sat in my classroom and rotted because I only see them once a week. So this year we're going to do it on paper. Little's just my afternoon. My 3rd through 5th graders normally aren't a problem because most of them go home right after art. But my 1st and 2nd grade art is first thing in the morning. So they have just gotten there and they forget by the end of the day. So we're going to do paper. It's not going to rot. And if they choose at the end of the year, they can put it in the art show. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm just making a bunch of polka dots on a pumpkin. I won't lie, it feels really weird to do pumpkins on June 1st. So, I'm just going with it, and I will check in a little while. And there we have it, a finished pumpkin project. This will actually be glued down. I just didn't bring a glue stick. So, normally that would be glued down. I kind of like it. It's a lot of fun. Kind of debating, I don't think I'm going to do it today, but doing one on the back, but having a fat pumpkin instead of a tall skinny one that I have here. But we'll see how I feel. These right now are kind of just examples so that I can show parents at the parent orientation some of the art that we're going to do. Actually, I have all of my art projects with me. So we're gonna do some Andy Warhol pop art, so the 4 colors and different things. We're gonna do some cupcakes and some donuts. Oops. I'll explain that in just a minute. And then we're gonna do ice cream cones in the Andy Warhol as well. I haven't finished this one because I want to do it in crayon. And I don't have crayons at home, surprisingly. But marker, paint, color pencil, and then crayon, just to give them a little introduction into the different mediums. And then this one we're actually going to do something more like the bottom here. I'm not finished with it. This is what I was working on yesterday while I was out here at the barn. This is going to be our sketchbook cover. Last year I let them do a checkerboard with a shape in the middle, but the problem that I found was that many times I couldn't easily pinpoint whose was whose. So this year we're going to put our name, or I'll have their name outlined, and then they'll go in and they'll add these back lines, and I'll have them write their name in a solid color. This was another idea I was playing with, because this is what we do our first day of class, is our sketchbook cover. And so I was going to do this one, do it this way, and then have them color their name in cool or warm colors with the ziggles through it, and then the opposite in the background, just to kind of reinforce those cool and warm colors. But as you can tell, it kind of hides the word. So I think we're going to do it this way. I do need to take my Sharpie and go through this and thicken my lines and curve out these points and things. But I really like how this way turned out. And then if I keep going, after we do Warhol, we're going to do Paul Cézanne. And so working with still lifes, this is a pear still life done in acrylic paint, and then apples done in oil pastel with watercolor on top, just to kind of show them that because it's oil, it's going to resist at their line. They won't have to be quite as careful with painting it. Then the next project I have to draw is doing this still life with some fall vegetables. This again still is Cézanne, but focusing on foreground, midground, and background for this. And then it'll probably take us 2 weeks for our pumpkin, and that brings us up to Christmas break. I know it probably doesn't sound like a lot, and honestly, if I do all of these projects between the time we start and the end of winter break, or in the beginning of winter break, I will be very surprised, because I always end up over planning. I would rather over plan than under plan. And so right now, with the exception of our pumpkin, each project is set to take 1 week. Or our pumpkin and our scrapbook cover. Those two I have set for 2 weeks, but everything else is set for 1 week. And we're just gonna go with it, and if we have extra time, then great, and I will have more projects for them after the break. If we need more time to work on a project, say this one takes them a little longer, then I have that where I can push something back a little bit and we can keep going. But that's where I'm at right now. So for a little bit, I'll probably work on darkening these lines or thickening these lines and rounding out the edges, and go from there. This, I kind of took the idea from Andrea Nelson on Instagram. I'll link her below. She does a lot of kid art, and has recently done like a neurological calm down series, and I thought that this would be a great thing to kind of pull in, especially during our first week or two, when we are above and beyond crazy with all the new experiences. So I'm going to get to this, and I will talk with you in a little bit. And there it is, the finished product for that. This eventually will be cut out and then laminated and put on the cover of my scrapbook, or on my sketchbook. I always set myself up one so that I can show the students what it'll look like, but it turns out that I very rarely get to use mine, and that's fine. It just means that this next year I'll have another one, or another cover to show, and go from there. So there it is. And now I think I'm gonna finish Layla. I am 75% through, so let's get this done. Hello everyone, so I have finished Layla, and oh my goodness, what a odd ride. That was not what I was expecting at all. The writing style reminded me of Verity, and I really thought it was gonna kind of end the way that Verity did, where you're left kind of wondering what the truth is. That does not happen in this one, but you definitely are left going, what? Yeah, it's very interesting. If you can get past the red flags that come out in the very beginning, it's okay. And you find out that they, from an outsider, they look like red flags, but from an insider, not so much. Yeah, it was very interesting. This one, unlike many of Colleen Hoover's other books, didn't leave me so much where I go, I don't want a guy like that. Many of the books that I've read by Colleen Hoover have kind of, it's more of the how not to romance versus a romance, or who not to romance. Yeah. Lots of things that you go, as a person reading this, that's not a good trait. I didn't really too much feel that way in this one once I knew what was going on. So yeah, it was very interesting. A lot of fun, and it definitely was one I did not want to put down and wanted to keep reading. So that was fun. And now I have to figure out what I'm going to read next. I do have my list, but being out at the barn still, I have no internet right now. So I don't know what I'm going to read, but we'll figure it out. probably later tonight and go from there. It is almost 6 o'clock. My daughter is feeding and cleaning up the fields, so we should be done in 20 minutes or so. And then we'll drive home and go from there. Tonight is spaghetti night in my house, and my husband, his game is released today, and so at 7 he's disappearing to go play Diablo, which means I'm gonna have some decent reading time. Not that he doesn't let me read or doesn't like me to read. It's just many times it's nice when we're both sitting downstairs together that we watch a movie. We're actually kind of behind in several of our shows that we watch. So, maybe after the concert next week, we'll find some time to sit and binge our favorite shows. But that's all I got for now, so I will chat with you later. Bye. And there you have it, guys. My week at the barn. I did not include our Saturday. I forgot to grab the GoPro when we went up. We also kind of spaced out as far as time to leave. So my daughter just went and mucked the field. I read A Girl in Red. And we just did what we had to do on Saturday. But I am, I'll try to do a few more of these if you guys are interested. Just leave me a like so that I know that this is something that you want to see. And I will see you next time. Bye.